Hi everybody, welcome to another EZLynx Live. I'm your host Ryan Buchema. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the EZLynx reporting platform. I'd like to share with all of you some of the great benefits that this new platform brings. And what's really great about it is that all of you have access to it right now. So if you haven't tried it already, hopefully by the end of this video, I will have enticed you to jump in and take a look. Now, one of the first things that you're going to notice about the new platform is its new modern layout, which provides you with visuals for your data. We have advanced filters. We even have the ability within those visuals to drill down to see the data behind them, which is great, an amazing feature that really helps you get a grasp of the data at your agency. So let's take a quick tour. Let's hop right into EZLynx. All right, to access the new reports, just like with the old reporting platform, you come over here to this icon in the side navigation menu. Notice that at the bottom, we still have our older reports, the ones that you're used to, the SSRS, the current ones. The new report categories are up here on the top, right? And you can drill directly into a specific category if you want, or what I recommend, I always like to go to all categories. That way I can get a clear picture of the different reporting options that are there. Plus, it gives you these great cards with this information as to what you're going to look into when you go into those categories. So like book of business, applicant, activity. I can actually see what these things are, right? Which is a huge, 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 huge benefit in this new platform. So if we go into, like, say, for example, book of business, right? This is going to be probably a port that a lot of people go into. A lot of people utilize the different book of business reports, right? So the one thing that I'd like to go into, I always like to go to the summary. Right, so I'll pull up the book of business summary, and this is going to give me a picture of my agency and how we're doing. So for example, I'll be able to see things like the total number of policies that are going to be expiring within, say, 90 days. That's a really big thing. So I can even look at my total enforced policies, total customers, my average policy per customer, right? And I can drill into this different data. What's really neat here, and I talked with an agent about this. This is great. Especially like with commercial. With commercial, a lot of people start doing the remarketing renewal process 120 to 90 days out, right? So this is a great little informational icon right here, this little visual for you. So if I wanted to look at, say for example, my commercial, and I wanted to see, hey, for my commercial policies, how many are going to be expiring within 90 days? Oh, I've got 31 coming up. So maybe I want to be proactive and I want to start looking at those. I want to start trying to figure out, am I going to need to remarket any of these? And I can drill into that number 31 and actually get the data behind it, which is really, really, really great. Being able to navigate out, once you've set your filters and everything, is pretty simple. You got these great breadcrumbs up top, and you can just go right back to the main page so that you can go through them, which is really, really cool. One of the things I wanted to kind of focus on, another great report that is in here, if we go over to where we have applicants, there we go. So this comes up a lot. I hear this from a lot of agents, them talking about how they always like to send out notifications to their customers, especially when bad weather is coming, right? One of the reasons that you'd want to do that is, if they have a car, an auto, make sure it's under, some sort of in a garage or shelter so it doesn't get, hailed on, right? That's one of the cool things that you can do here. I can come over to my customer location report. And when I pull this up, I can actually filter it down to, I don't know the zip codes, right? But I know that this actual city is going to get hit. So if I wanted to come into, say, for example, Louisville, I can go right down here to Louisville. I can run the report, and I can now see that I've got 3 customers, and these 3 customers have active policies. I do want to kind of call out what's the difference here. What's the difference between total applicants and total customers? Total applicants, that's going to be everybody, whether they have an active policy or an inactive policy. It's everyone, right? Everyone at your agency that is in that city. These are the customers that have active policies. So this is a report that I'd want to filter down, get those emails, and then send it out to them and be a little bit proactive, right? And communicating, hey, make sure that you're ready for the storm that's coming at the end of the week. Make sure, the hatches are battened down, the car's all safe. So that's one of the really cool things that I recommend. Get in here, play with some of the new reports. It's easy to get to them once again. Go to the side menu. You can see them all grouped up here at the top where you have access to them. Play with some of the filters. Go in here, save some of these things, get going so that you can get a feel for some of the cool actual visuals and data that you're able to get now in the new platform. So as you just saw, even in that side menu, you still have access to your old reports, but in a short time, we're going to be making that transition away from them into the new platform. So what are some of the things that you can be doing right now to make that transition easier for you? Well, I recommend the following steps, and if we could pull them up real quick here. Doing a little bit at a time, that's really going to help you make headway, incremental headway towards that new platform. So number one, and this is big, if you haven't looked at the new reports, jump in, take a look at them. From the agents who have been working in them, the data's more reliable, they're faster, they're able to actually drill into it and really see what it means. So everybody who has used them, they love the new reporting platform. So definitely, just take a look. Number two, experiment with some of the new filters and customize a report for fun. One of the big ones that a lot of people play with is the book of business report. So go in there like we did, play with some of the filters, kind of set up the report, maybe save it. Just get around there, just experiment with it. Number three, and I think this is really big, this is going to help with the transition. Carve out time daily and weekly to replicate your saved reports to the new platform. One of the things that's going to happen at that transition is you're going to have to replicate your existing reports in the old platform in the new one. Now, what you don't want to do is wait till the last minute when we're pushing the transition and we're cutting off the old one and going to the new platform. You don't want to be stuck having to do all of it at once. That's why I say carve out a little time each day to maybe do a few of the reports, get them set up. That way you're good to go. And finally, once you've got your reports set up, you can schedule your reports, right? Once they're actually created, you can schedule them. And we're going to look at that here in a moment. That is so simple to do. I am not like a reporting kind of person at all. And when they showed me how to save it, I was like, oh, wow, this is extremely easy to do. So let's hop back into EZLynx. I want to show you guys how to actually schedule a report and how easy that is to do. So scheduling is very easy. Let's go back to our book of business reports real quick right here. So we're going to pull up our book of business reports, and I'm going to show you guys getting these reports kind of set up, saved, and scheduled. This is a simple process. So if we go right up here to, say, book of business summary, when you drill into the report, now, of course, you can set the settings, the different filters to whatever you'd like. It's completely up to you, but scheduling this report is pretty simple to do. You're just going to come over to here, see these little three dots, these little icons. I call them a little action drop down. You can go right down here to where it says schedule report or schedule delivery, basically, right? Make sure when you're doing this that you give it a specific name, something that is unique, you know what it is. Maybe this is for book of business. Maybe we had branches, right? And we wanted to do this for the Louisville office, and this is their book of business that's going to come out. Then you come down here, you set your reoccurrence. Do I want this to happen daily, weekly, hourly, from a minute standpoint? And then set the time. Now, what you're doing right here when you set the time, that's not when it's going to be delivered. That's when we're going to start running the process to send it out, right? So that's, you're setting the time that you want this to run, right, and be able to deliver it out. And if you come down here to destination, I can choose whether I want it to do email, webhook, SFTP. I would stay with email. Most of the users who have been in here and been playing with this, they stick with email when they're actually doing the delivery of it. You can add in your different email addresses. So I could actually email this out to multiple people, not just one. So it could be multiple people at the Louisville office are going to get this scheduled business summary report, either weekly, daily, quarterly, however I want to choose to do it. And then the final thing right down here, format. There's a couple of different formats, right? There's the CSV, PDF, and PNG. We recommend that you use the PDF. The PDF is great because on this report you have a lot of visuals, right? And so that's all just going to compress the visuals into a nice PDF for you. If you use the CSV option, then each one of these visuals is basically a CSV. So you're going to have a lot of CSVs that go out. So I would stay, it's recommended, it's easier. Stay with the PDF. That's what you're going to do. And then you can save it. It's scheduled. You're ready to go. It's that simple. Now, real quick, before we jump out, one thing I do want to kind of call attention to. Can we go back to Book of Business? Okay. There are a couple of different ways when you're looking at your data in the new reporting platform, right? You have the dashboards, which provide visuals where you can drill into those visuals. You can get more information about what's behind them. So, for example, We looked at the book of business summary earlier. We saw how many policies we had expiring in 90 days that were commercial, and boom, I want to start trying the remarket process and start looking at those, right? I had a nice visual for that. If you're just wanting to get an export of data, like, hey, I want my book of business detailed data, I'm going to export it and I want to do stuff with it, then head down here to where it says looks. And each one of the categories is going to have this, right? So whether it's the applicant or activity, you're going to have this kind of section at the bottom that says looks. If you're wanting to export data, I recommend, we recommend, that you use the looks, those kind of cards, those reports that are down there. That's going to get you the best result if you're just wanting to get a big export of data. So kind of as I had mentioned earlier, start making some headway. If you haven't played with the new reports, jump on in, take a look at them. They really are amazing. They really do provide a very great picture of your agency, what's going on, your data, they're great. And what's really neat about it, for those of you who are at AppliedNet, you know that we're already developing new reports for that platform. So for example, one of the ones that we're working on right now for auto and for home is our coverage detail report. Now you might ask, well, what am I going to do with a coverage detail report? Let's say, for example, your agency acquires another one, right? And one of the SOPs at your agency is you don't write state minimums at all. You don't. You want there actually some coverages there. Or maybe you just wanted to see what policies do I have with a certain carrier that have state minimums because I want to upsell and bring those coverages up. This new report is going to allow you to jump into the policy information and look at that. Right, so that's really, really, really cool. So we're really excited about some of these new reports that we're working on, but they're all going to be in the new platform. None of them are going to be in the older platform. So that's why I really encourage you guys, get in there, start playing with the reports if you haven't already done so, start saving them, start playing with the filters, schedule a few just to see how they come out. It's an amazing platform. We're really excited about all the cool things it's going to bring your agency with respect to your data and being able to understand it. Well, that's all the time we have here on EZLynx Live this month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.